Hi, I'm Gloria Kenyon, Public Programs Coordinator for the Smithsonian American Art Museum and Renwick Gallery. And for today's Handi Hour project, we will be making our own weavings. So I have a couple of examples here in different colors and different tightnesses. And these are pretty small, so you could use them for your dollhouse or, for your Barbie house. These are made on a 4x4 loom, which I'll show you how to do. If you want to make a bigger one for like a coaster, I recommend a 6x6 or a 7x7 loom. And if you wanted to do something like a placemat, I recommend a 13x9 or 13x10 for that size. So to make our loom, as I mentioned, this is a 4x4 square of cardboard. So we'll just take this and a pencil and a ruler, and I'm just going to mark off a 1/2 inch on each side. And then you're just going to draw a line connecting those. And then along that line, you're going to want to mark off every 1/4 inch. And that's going to give us the notches to create our loom for our weaving. So once you've marked those off, you're just going to want to take a pair of scissors and cut them down to the line you drew originally. So you're going to create these little notches where you're going to slide your yarn for your weaving. And I've already done this one, so you can see I've got a whole row of notches set to go. And I'm just going to take my yarn for my base color for my weaving, and I'm going to start making my loom. So you're going to start by sliding it inside the notch. I'm going to want to leave a little tail, and we're going to tape that down to help keep it taut. And we're going to need this tail at the end. And we're going to go down around the back. So you want to create a loop in the back, back up, around, down, around. So you want to be creating loops in the back and a nice taut string in the front. And when you're done, just cut your yarn, leaving about 1 inch or so, and we'll tape that down as well. So on the front, we have a nice taut loom where we're going to create our weaving. And on the back, we have a series of loops, which we will use at the end. So to take our color for weaving, this one's pretty small, so I'm only going to use one color for it, and you can switch up colors if you want. Just a couple of feet of yarn. This actually takes several feet of yarn, so you want to make sure you have enough if you're going to create a larger one, maybe about a 1/2 skein for a placemat. I would say probably 5 feet actually for a small coaster. You just want to make sure you've got plenty because it'll tighten up as you go. And so as you start your weaving, you're just going to go over, under, over, under. So over, under, over, under. And so every other one, you're just going to slide through. So pull it down, but don't go all the way to your base because at the end you're going to want this extra little bit of yarn because that'll help you tie your knots at the end. So pull it through and leave about 1 inch or so of a tail, and we're just going to weave that tail in as we go. So to come back across the other side, so we ended on an over, and we're going to go under. So you're going to go the reverse of what you did the first time. So if you went over, under, you're going to go under, over. So under, over, under, over, under, over. And once you get started, you'll start to see a rhythm and a pattern developing. So it's pretty simple to keep it going. And we don't want to pull it too tight because you'll start to create some warping. So we want to leave it a little bit loose. And I like to take the needle and just kind of push this down to help tighten it as we go. So we're going to tuck our tail in as we weave. So I'm just going to pull it up, and as I weave the yarn, I'll go slide it in so it gets hidden and you won't be able to see it at the end. And you just continue like that, back and forth. Make sure that tail is tucked in there. Just pushing it down. So you continue like that until you get close to the end. And then when you get to the end, this is one I've pretty much finished. And so you're just going to finish it off by doing one last row. And you can see it's pretty taut at the end, which is what you want. You want your weaving to be nice and tight so it'll hold together. And then to tuck that final tail in, leaving it in the needle, we're just going to slide it down into this edge of the weaving. And so that will hide it. You won't see any little bits or pieces. And then we'll just trim off this little extra piece. So then we're going to finish this by pulling these loops off and tying them off to create a little fringe. So you just push them off the tabs. And this is why you don't want to push down too far, is because you're going to tie them off, you're going to need a couple of inches of space. And if they get hung up, just slide them over. So you can see we have our series of loops. We're just going to cut them. And we'll push our weaving down a little bit, and that'll tighten it up. So that's also why you want to make sure you keep it loose as you weave, because you'll tighten it up at the end. And just tie it in a nice little double knot, because that'll hold a little bit better. And so you'll just go down, tying each of them off. And when you're done with this row, you can just take the tape off here and pop all of these off and tie them off in the same way. And then you end up with your weaving like this, which, as you can see, is much smaller than you started with. So keep that in mind when you're making your own. And that's how you make your own weaving.